This looks like a giant pig, but it wasn't a pig. Nearly 20 million years ago, an animal this enormous could move through North America with a skull almost a meter long, standing nearly 6 feet at the shoulder. Its name was Daeodon, and if its face looks terrifying, there's a reason. Daeodon belonged to a strange extinct family called the entelodonts. They looked vaguely pig-like, but their evolutionary history was different. Their closest living relatives are much closer to the hippo and whale branch than to modern pigs. But appearance was only the beginning. Daeodon carried an enormous head on a powerful body, supported by long limbs and a reinforced skeleton. Its lower leg bones were fused for strength, an unusual adaptation that helped support such a massive animal. And then there were the jaws. They weren't built for one simple food. Daeodon's teeth tell a more complicated story. Its powerful canines and robust cheek teeth suggest an omnivorous animal, capable of processing both plant material and animal food. It could exploit whatever the ancient landscape offered. That made Daeodon dangerous in a very different way. It didn't need to be a specialized predator. A carcass was an opportunity. Roots were an opportunity. Hard plant foods were an opportunity. And when another animal had already done the killing, Daeodon may have been perfectly equipped to arrive afterward. Its skull is especially strange. Along the cheeks and jaws are prominent bony projections. For decades, these features helped create the image of an ancient monster. But scientists have another clue. Some entelodont fossils preserve injuries that appear consistent with violent encounters between members of their own species. That means those strange facial structures may have been more than decoration. They may have played a role in combat. Imagine two enormous animals facing one another, heads lowered, muscles tightening, each trying to overpower the other. The injuries left behind in bone are silent evidence of those encounters. But Daeodon's greatest weapon may not have been its face. It may have been its flexibility. Modern predators often specialize. Wolves chase, big cats ambush, hyenas are famous for scavenging and bone processing. Daeodon seems to have occupied a much less predictable niche. It could search, it could forage, it could scavenge, and its jaws could handle food that many animals would struggle to process. That versatility mattered because the world around it was changing. Daeodon lived during a period when North American ecosystems were being reshaped by climate, vegetation, and changing mammal communities. Competition was everywhere, and being able to eat many different foods could be a powerful survival strategy. But then comes the strangest question. If Daeodon was so successful, why did animals like it disappear? The fossil record shows that entelodonts survived for millions of years, spreading across parts of North America, Europe, and Asia. Daeodon represents one of the largest and best-known members of the group. Yet eventually, the entire lineage vanished. We don't have a single dramatic fossil showing the exact moment it happened. There was no final battle, no single predator responsible. Instead, extinction was probably the result of changing ecosystems, competition, climate, and other pressures acting across long periods of time. And that makes Daeodon even more fascinating, because its bones don't tell us about a monster.
They tell us about a survivor, an animal built around opportunity, a giant that didn't need one perfect food source because it could exploit many. Its enormous skull, reinforced limbs, powerful teeth, and battle-scarred relatives all point toward an animal that lived aggressively at the edge of survival. Today, nothing quite like Daeodon walks across the planet, but its fossilized bones still preserve a message. The strangest animals aren't always the ones with the biggest claws. Sometimes, Survival belongs to the animal that can eat almost anything, endure almost anything, and wait for the right opportunity. And Daeodon may have been one of the most extraordinary examples. Not a pig, not a buffalo, but something far stranger, a giant entelodont from a lost world. And once you understand what that means, its terrifying face starts to look less like a monster and more like the perfectly adapted survivor it really was.